Welcome to the channel. I'm Chris Stone. Today we talk about fixing democracy. This will be part one of several parts. I have help from an article from Foreign Policy. They are censor biased, highly factual, and independently owned. I will also be incorporating a few of my own ideas. My links are there in the description below. Now without further ado, let's begin. 1. Abolish two-party systems. One cannot make sense of the current crisis of liberal democracy without understanding the systemic, economic, and demographic shifts that have transformed Western democracies. Today, economic opportunity is heavily concentrated in major cities. A new urban elite, much more multicultural, diverse, and cosmopolitan. It's redefining cultural norms and rearranging traditional hierarchies of race and gender. Left behind are those who stayed in the rural and post-industrial hinterlands, where globalization has not been kind. Here are far-right populists recasting themselves as the defenders of national greatness and a bygone order have flourished, especially among white men. The leaders of such movements are cold to the traditional values of liberal democracy, with its emphasis on diversity and tolerance and its embrace of market capitalism that has hit these regions hardest. In the United States and Britain, Trumpism and Brexit are both clear manifestations and fierce accelerators of a dangerous us versus them divide that is hitting right at the heart of liberal democracy. Other countries have been spared such shocks. Nationalists or far-right parties such as Alternative for Germany, the Sweden Democrats, the Dutch Party for Freedom, and the Danish People's Party have galvanized voters in their country's left-behind regions, but so far they've been kept out of government, rejected by at least three-quarters of voters. The difference? The United States and Britain have first passed the post-elections, which organized conflict around just two parties and forced voters into two competing camps. Through the Brexit referendum, didn't perfectly map onto the Labour Conservative divide at the time. It accelerated a diverse polarization that now defines British partisan politics. In an earlier period, when national politics in most Western countries was dominated by a large, moderate center, two-party and multi-party systems proved equally adept in holding together a rough national consensus. But today, with urban-rural cultural conflicts driving political competition, majoritarian democracies are amplifying and escalating the zero-sum fights between progressive urban elites and a resentment-driven rural populist right, with no release valve or opportunity for a new center to emerge. Voting reform can help. The proportional democracies of Northern Europe, after all, are more efficiently riding out the storms of authoritarian populism. There, center-right voters have been able to support center-right parties without supporting illiberalism, and more flexible multi-party systems are facilitated new coalitions to help to keep illiberal forces out of power. The idea of introducing proportional representation in the United States and Britain is hardly new. What's new is the context. Cultural, educational, and geographic divides are likely to shape politics for decades to come. A two-party system that by definition splits a country in half, with reinforcement and deepen identity polarization, pushing national politics even further into trench welfare. Proportional systems are far from perfect, but they allow for new and shifting coalitions that can help liberal democracies navigate these difficult circumstances. Most importantly, they avoid They avoid the binary winner-take-all conflict that so easily lets politics slip into an irresolvable zero-sum contest of us against them, a toxic polarization that even established democracies such as the United States and Britain may not survive. That was from Foreign Policy. Now to have my own stance on this. We need to break the Republican Party into three separate parties and the Democrat parties into three as well. For the Republican Party, Christian Conservative Party, far right, think of Mike Pence. The Growth and Opportunity Party, moderate right, think Mitt Romney. The Patriot Party, slight right, think Donald Trump. Now for the Democratic Party, the New Liberal Party, slight left, think Joe Biden. American Labor Party, moderate left, think Bernie Sanders. And progressive, far left, think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And now time for the other parties that should be added. Socialist, far left. Green, far left. Transhumanist, moderate left. Peace and Freedom, centrist. American Solidarity, centrist. Constitution, centrist. And Libertarian. Varies, but the candidates in the parties are very anti-government. And that will conclude this first part on fixing democracy. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I created some discussion, but not polarization. Thank you for watching. Stick around for part 2 soon. Try not to kill each other, and peace.